It is time to bring in our next guest on the show, and that is going to be Jeff Bollig. He is the chairman of the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. Hey, Jeff, appreciate you coming on the show. Man, you were busy in March. Like, I just saw you gallivanting around the country, just watching NCAA basketball. How much fun was that?
March Madness, right?
Exactly.
It's great. I'm fortunate. The NCAA and the Big 12 asked me to come help with their game management duties. I work on the scores table, and it's something I've done for a number of years now. I won't date myself, but you're up close to the action. You get to see great coaching, great players. And the NCAA tournament to me is the single greatest sporting event. So it's fun. It's a fun time.
All right. Also fun, Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. I mean, you guys, the staff, and your board. Man, you've been busy. Like, big news came out with the announcement of a huge class for 2026.
Well, that's right. Cole, the Hall of Fame has been around since 1961, established by the legislature as part of our centennial. But there were some years there where they just didn't choose any inductees. In fact, there was about a 10-year gap from late 70s to the late 80s. And then sprinkled throughout there some years where they just did not have selection. So we as a board felt, we need to play a little bit of catch up and recognize those people who really deserve to be in. Unfortunately, 12 of the 32 that were selected have passed, but we still felt it was important for their legacy and for their families for them to be recognized. So we have 3 different inductions. We have July 18th at the Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas, where the Monarchs play. We'll induct 7 we're calling Kansas baseball legends. And then we'll have an event July 25th in Wichita, actually Mulvane at the Kansas Star Casino. And that will be people who are mainly in that Wichita, South Central Kansas, a few Topekans involved. And then on August 16th at Sporting KC, we'll have 10 additional individuals who kind of hail from that northeast part of the town, or were from that area of the state, excuse me. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy, busy summer. You can go to kshof.org if you'd like to purchase tickets for any of the events. And a great way to recognize some great people. That's the way, I think Kansas' strength is in its people. And there are just so many wonderful individuals who've made an impact and continue to make an impact. And so it's just great to have the opportunity to recognize them.
3 great locations. I think that's going to be exciting. All 3 of those are pretty cool.
Right. Well, there are some states that spread their Hall of Fame inductions around. And so this was just a natural. We've had them over the years in different communities. And really, we try to do it best that meets the geography for the inductees. But when they come from all over, it's kind of hard sometimes. But, we're really excited about the 3 different areas. We're getting great feedback, so that's good.
That first one, July 18th, you talk about the baseball legends. I was just going through those names and reading some of the bios, and obviously they're in the Hall of Fame for a reason, but some impressive information.
Well, you're right. We already had 3 individuals from the Negro Leagues in, but as we did research and looked at who was not in, we found there were several that were either born here in the area or moved in and stayed. And 6 of the individuals played in the Negro Leagues. And then one, Diego Segui, who's actually Cuban, but was drafted by Cincinnati and then signed with the Kansas City A's shortly thereafter. So he had been in Kansas City, established it as his home in 1963. And Diego pitched for the A's and another number of teams. But, of course, many people remember his son, David Segui. He played with a number of teams, and most probably the Orioles probably, but David was an outstanding player, and Diego was a fixture in the KCK area. So it's great just to be able to recognize him. One thing that's interesting about Diego, he pitched in the first game for the Seattle Pilots. You may remember Milwaukee wasn't quite ready for a team. So in 1969, when the Royals broke in, Seattle had a team and the Pilots, and Diego pitched in that game. And then many, many years later, when the Mariners came in, he pitched in their first game as well. So kind of ironic that he pitched in both first games at Seattle. But a lot of the Segui family still in the area, went to Bishop Ward High School, most of them. And so we're excited to recognize them because of all the individuals, they're probably the most family members around. George Giles, who was from Junction City and grew up in Manhattan and played for the Monarchs. Son Brian played for the Mets. And so there are some around, but they've been gone for quite a while. So we won't have a lot of family. There are a lot of people who are interested in the Negro Leagues, interested in these individuals. And really, as you know, the talent and the play was at such a high level. The Major League folded in their stats and records because they knew just how accomplished they were. Frank Wickware, a pitcher born in Girard and moved to Coffeyville, was a tremendous pitcher and feared by the batters. And he actually has a 1-0 head-to-head shutout over Walter Johnson early in his career. There's been a book written about that. I won't spill beans too much, but there's just some great stories. And if anybody ever gets a chance to go to the Negro League Hall of Fame in Kansas City with Bob Kendrick as the president and hear the stories, really amazing. It's worth your time. A lot of people come to Kansas City to go Royals or Chiefs or vacation, but make the Negro Leagues a stop. It's really enlightening and it's great history.
Big time destination. All right, we will continue to break down the other two Hall of Fame ceremonies later on a different show. So, Jeff, I appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great, Cole. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
That's Jeff Bollig, the chairman of the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. Make sure you check out the website, kshof.org. You can find tickets for all those ceremonies coming up this summer.